All right, so today we're going to be doing lecture 22. We're going to be writing equations from slope and a point. So last week we were talking about the two ways that you can write an equation of a line. There is standard form ax plus by is equal to c, where x and y are variables and a, b, and c are whole numbers. And then there is slope-intercept form, which is the one we're going to be using today. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. X and y are going to be variables, but m is going to be the slope. So m is going to be the slope of the line. It's just going to be a number. And b is also going to be a number. B stands for the y-intercept. That's where the graph crosses the y-axis. So we're going to be using slope-intercept form today to be able to write lines with a slope and a point. So for each problem, it's going to give you two things. It's going to give you the slope, m equals something, and it's going to give you a point, x comma y. So if you're ever dealing with an ordered pair, you know that the x value is always going to come first, and the y value is always going to come second. So we're going to be using that m number, the slope, and we're going to be using x and y, where x and y are going to be numbers. We're going to be using all this information to be able to find b, the y-intercept. So I'm going to take a look at some of the problems that are on the notes, and I'll show you how to figure out what b is and how to write your linear equation. So the first one I wanted to look at was number 2. It tells me that the slope for this line is going to be 1. And the point it's going to give me is -2 and +2. And we're going to be using y equals mx plus b. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my x value and my y value. My y value is going to be a +2. So I'm going to put the 2 where y is. And then I have to figure out what m and x are. M is going to be my slope, which is +1. I'll put parentheses around that. And then the x is going to be -2 from this x value right here. And then plus b. Now, since I don't know what b is yet, I'm going to have to leave it as a variable for now. Okay, so the first thing that I can do is I can bring down the +2 on the left side. On the right side, I have 1 times -2, and that's going to give me -2 when I multiply. And then I'm going to bring down the plus b. I still don't know what b is yet, but we're about to find out. So to figure out what b is, I need to get b by itself on the right side. So that means I need to get rid of this -2. So to get rid of a -2, I need to add 2 to both sides. And once I add 2 to both sides, what's going to happen is the b is going to come down just like it is. The -2 and the +2 are going to cancel out. I bring down my equal sign right here. And then 2 plus 2 on this side is going to give me 4. So now I know what b is. My y-intercept is going to be 4. So I'm going to use that number and the slope to write my answer in y equals mx plus b form. So I've got a y. My m is going to be 1. I put down x because that's going to be a variable. And then plus b, b is going to be 4. And that's my answer. Now, since I have a 1 out in front, I don't really need to write the 1. So I could also write my answer as y equals x plus 4. That would be the same exact answer, just written in a different way. So it doesn't start off by telling us what b is, but it will tell you what the slope is, and it'll give you an ordered pair for the line. And from that information, you have to figure out what b is. And then you can write your answer in slope-intercept form. Let's take a look at number 2 in the notes. Okay, I just did number 2, so we're going to do number 4. 4 says my slope is going to be 3. And my ordered pair is going to be -2, -4. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my slope-intercept form. That's going to be y equals mx plus b. I need to figure out what y is. That's going to be the y value from this ordered pair, -4. So I'm going to let y be -4. Now I need to figure out what m is. M is going to be the slope, which is 3. So I'm going to replace this m with a 3. I need to figure out what x is. That's going to be my x value, this -2 right here. So I'm going to put down x as -2. And then I have to bring down plus b because I don't know what b is yet. But now I have all the information that I need to figure out what b is. So I know that 3 times -2 is going to give me -6 if I multiply. Now I need to get b by itself. I can do that by getting rid of the -6 somehow. And the way I do that is by adding 6 to both sides. So when I do that, b is going to come down as it is. The -6 and the +6 are going to cancel each other out to get 0. And then on the other side of the equal sign, I'm going to have -4 plus 6. That's going to give me a +2. So b is going to be 2. That means the line is going to cross the y-axis at +2. So now I know all the information that I need to write my answer in slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. I know what my slope is. It told me in the beginning that my slope is 3. So I get 3x plus b, which is 2. So y equals 3x plus 2. So now if you want to check your answer, what you could do is you could go to Desmos and you can actually graph this line. On the left side, I'm going to type in y equals 3x plus 2. And I get this red line right here. I'm going to zoom out so we can see it a little bit better. This line is going to cross the y-axis at 2, 0, 2. So the y-intercept should be 2. And it is. The next thing that I want to check for is to make sure that this ordered pair right here, -2, -4, shows up on the graph. So going back to Desmos, I'm going to type in -2, -4 as an ordered pair. And then that blue point is going to show up right here on the line, like it should. So that's how you can check to make sure you got it. All right, let's look at number 6. This one says that the slope is going to be 3/2. So the slope is going to be a fraction. And my ordered pair is going to be 2, 4. So it gives me the slope, it gives me an ordered pair, and now I can write my answer as y equals mx plus b. The first thing that I need to do is I need to put my y in. My y value is 4. So I'm going to let y be 4. It tells me that my m is going to be the slope, 3/2. And beside that, I have my x value, which is going to be 2 from right here. And then I bring down the plus b. So now I can multiply 3/2 by 2. What's going to happen is the 2 in the denominator is going to cancel out with the 2 in the numerator. And that's just going to leave me with a positive 3 plus b. So now to get b by itself, I need to subtract 3 from both sides. That'll get rid of the 3. And once I do that, the 3 and the -3 are going to cancel out. And on the other side, I'm going to have 4 minus 3, which is 1. So b equals 1. That's going to be my y-intercept. So now I can write my answer as y equals mx plus b. I'm going to let m be my slope, which is 3/2 up here. So 3/2 times x. And then I have to add b at the end, which is 1. So that's going to be the equation of my line. Okay, so let's see what happens when our line is horizontal and when our line is vertical. we're going to do number 8. Number 8 tells me that my slope is going to be 0. And my ordered pair is going to be 8, comma, -3. So as usual, I'm going to write out y equals mx plus b. My y value is going to be this -3 right here. My m is going to be 0. That's the slope. And then in parentheses right beside it, I'm going to put my x value, which is 8. But it doesn't tell me what b is, so I have to keep that as a variable for now. So now 0 times 8 is going to give me 0. I keep everything else the same. Now, if I add 0 to anything, it's not going to change what I add it to. So 0 plus b is just going to give me b. So b has to be -3 for this to work. So now I can write my answer in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. I know that my slope m is going to be 0. And my y-intercept is going to be -3. So I get y equals 0x minus 3. Since I'm multiplying x by 0, I should get 0 for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the 0x with a 0, and then 0 minus 3 is going to give me -3. And that's my answer. Y equals -3. This is going to be the equation of a horizontal line. I know my line is going to be horizontal because my slope is 0, right? That means that the line isn't going to have a slope. It's just going to be a flat horizontal line. So if I want to check this, I can go to Desmos and type in y equals -3, the answer that I just got. And what I want to make sure of is I want to make sure that the line is horizontal for starters. And I want to make sure that it goes through this point right here, 8, -3. So if I go to Desmos and I type in y equals -3, I do get a horizontal line down here. It's running through -3 on the y-axis. And I'm going to type in the point 8, -3. And the point is going to show up as a purple point right here. And the horizontal line is running through it. So I know that we got our right answer. Okay. The last one that I'm going to do is a vertical line. So let's look at number 10. This time, my slope is going to be undefined. Undefined. And my ordered pair is going to be 4, 4. Now, if your slope is undefined, that means you don't have a horizontal line, you have a vertical line. So it's going to look like this on your graph. So because it's a vertical line, it may or may not cross the y-axis. So I can't do my y equals mx plus b anymore. Since my slope is undefined, we don't really know what m is going to be. But I do know that a vertical line is going to have the equation x equals something. Now, since my x value is 4, I'm going to write x equals 4. And that's going to be my answer. So any vertical line is going to have the equation x equals something. And then I just type in my x coordinate. So let's see what that looks like when we graph it. I'm going to graph x equals 4. And I get a vertical line. It runs through the x-axis at +4. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to type in the ordered pair that they gave me, 4, 4. And I want to see if the line goes through it. And it does. The line goes through this red point right here. Okay. Now go ahead and try the classwork. The classwork will say writing equations from slope and a point. It'll be under Friday on your week 13 module. It'll be 10 questions. You're going to be writing them all down and finding that y equals mx plus b. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, but we're going to be using the same formula as we did today, the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Except this time, you won't be given a slope, you'll be given 2 points. And from there, you'll have to figure out what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. So these are the 2 assignments that are going to be due on Sunday. And if you have any questions, you can put them down in the chat box and I will get to you. If you don't have any questions, then you're free to go. Class dismissed. And I will see everybody on Wednesday.